So Willbender got buffed quite a bit this patch. It's gone from grief tier to pretty much A tier. This is the build we're running. We have Radiance, Valor, Willbender. Radiance obviously for damage, and I run Healer's Resolution because for such an important boon, I think it's better to overcap than not have enough of it, especially since, in team fights you might get resolution stripped or corrupted, and you really need resolution to maintain your damage output. And in Valor we take standard many traits, and in Willbender we go for damage traits and Vanguard tactics for the resolution uptime. And for utils, we take standard many utils. I take shelter over the others because first off, this heal is bugged. It does not proc lesser smite unless you channel it for the full duration, which obviously you don't want to do. You want to block an attack with it, so this doesn't work. And litany, it relies too much on people face tanking your damage to get value. So, sure, if people do face tank, this will pull ahead of shelter, but in general, against good players, shelter is just better. So for gear, we have dual swords plus greatsword, double energy cleansing. You could take, say, exploitation over cleansing, but I prefer cleansing because it's safer and allows you to play more aggressive without worrying about counter pressure as much. And we take Marauder Divinity. We do not take Valk Eagle because if you look at the effective power calculations, Valk Eagle requires all three buffs of Resolution, Fury, and a Burning Target to pull ahead of Marauder Divinity by a mere 4% in damage. But if you just lose a single one of those buffs, say you lose Burning, then you're suddenly 9% weaker. And say you don't lose Fury, say you don't lose Burning, but you lose Fury instead, you're now 25-something% weaker. You just don't even compete. So yeah, with boon rips and stuff in team fights, Valk is just too unreliable. And it's not like you're gaining that much more sustain. You only have 1.5k more health on Valk compared to Marauder Divinity, but Marauder Divinity has more toughness and healing power, which pretty much entirely makes up for that health difference. So for combos, the main one you want to know is Sword 5 into Sword 4. Since Sword 5 is a 2-second emote, it will fully secure the Sword 4, which deals a lot of damage. And since Sword 5 also slows, there's very little chance that the enemy can counter pressure you effectively during this combo. And you can also combo this combo with JI because Sword 5 is a 2-part dash. First it dashes, and then if the target is within a certain range, it's about 300 range, then you will port to that target and deliver the actual attack. So if the target is out of range of a normal Sword 5, you can JI before the end of the dash so that you port onto them, and then you can proc the attack portion like this. And then you can land a full Sword 4 after. And this is very deadly because by the time you port onto a target, you pretty much just immediately attack with Sword 5. So really the only way for people to react to this is to see you precasting the Sword 5. And JI can be comboed with other stuff, of course. You can use Greatsword 5, Greatsword 2, just like Core Guard. You can combo it with F1. F1 has this dash and then a delay and then the attack. So you want to time JI after that delay right before the attack. And you can also combo JI with F3. F3 has this cast and then a port and then this attack. So you want to use JI right after the port and before the attack, like this, so that you place this attack on top of the target. And this is very useful because F3 gives stab, so if you want to cleave a down body, this provides a very safe option to cleave because you're constantly getting Aegis instability. So this is a daily tournament match. We're against a pretty strong team here. We go for the far opener, which is pretty standard for this map. But we have no thief, which is pretty bad because we're very exposed here and the enemy does have thief. So they get the stealth opener on us. And I eat a lot of damage here, but our Soul Beast lands a very good burst onto their Deadeye. And I try and chase here. I do land F1, but Thief is still just more mobile than Willbender. I land a sword 5, but he shadow steps away before I can land my sword 4. So at this point I just come here and force this thief off node, and I rotate back into mid. I see that home is getting decapped, but we can't do anything about that. My team is pretty healthy, so I go and cap mid instead of joining the fight. And yeah, this support guard is running mace, so there's no way he can stop this cap in time. That's why you don't run mace on support guard. Well, one of the reasons why. And he's forced into RF, and we look for an opening to damage him here. We land our entire combo, but he has protection and takes very little damage. So instead we go into this other guard, and I almost one-shot him with the pull into Greatsword 2. And I stick to him here, pressure with autos, but now the enemy thieves are here, so I'm forced to play very defensive. And he is very low. I try and pour back in for the kill, but I get interrupted as I'm trying to execute my combo. He does go down, enemy signets him, and I'm kind of low on cooldown, so I kite up this terrain, and I poke with a Greatsword 5, which lands, so I go in with F3 to give myself stab and Aegis, and I use my burst combo to get the kill. And now we go into this support guard. There's a line there, so I can't follow. We lose the node, which is very unfortunate. In hindsight, I probably should have stuck to the support guard. We probably would have killed him, but in hindsight, you know, a lot of things could be done differently. So here I just cap this node. I see that their thief is here, so I have to just sit on this node for a while to prevent any decaps. And yeah, my ranger is pretty close to dying, but I'm kind of forced to stay here in fear of a decap. And yeah, I wanted to go that way, but my team is moving the other way, so I have to come back around. I see this Deadeye here, he's half health. I try to take this fight, but I quickly realize that, you know, this is not the best matchup for me. I'm unable to land any real damage. I do land a sword 5, but you know, I'm weakened, so the follow-up is not very significant. And I blocked the Death's Judgment with sword 3, but I'm still forced to RF. Here I'm just trying to disengage. I try and secure my disengage with the pull on Greatsword 5, but I still eat his Death's Judgment. I do get this kill, but my F3 gets interrupted, so I go down. But luckily my team is here and we're able to rally off these kills. So my team goes mid and far, so I go home. This was, in hindsight, a bad rotation. I was hoping to get a quick kill here and clean things up, but they end up being too tanky with a support guard and lightning rod with perma weakness. We do land a good burst onto the lightning rod, but we lack the cooldowns to finish off the kill. And now their other guard is rotating in, and this is turning into a very bad situation for us because a 3v3 with one team having support and other team not having a support, the team with support is pretty much always guaranteed to win. And yeah, as you can see, we're taking a lot of damage, dealing very little damage in return. So yeah, I stay in this fight for a little while. because I don't want to just leave and give the enemy the node for free. But yeah, we're getting pressured very hard here. I port back in one last time, but I eat a lot of damage from this burn guard and I have to disengage for real. And my team's also very low. Hopefully they don't die, but I mean there's not much I can do to help them. So I try and go mid. I go for the sword 5 combo on this thief here, but he is able to escape the emote and dodge our sword 4. So I try and finish him with F3, but it gets interrupted, and yeah, he's able to get away. So I move towards mid. I port onto this Deadeye to pressure him off my teammate, and I try and go in, but I eat the line, so I'm forced to back off. And I see this thief's pretty low, but I also get pretty low, and yeah, I land a good sword 5, but he stealths right as I'm casting F1, so I miss it, otherwise I would have gotten that kill. And I try and look for him, but I get CC'd by this Deadeye. And this thief is still here, so we chase him, and I de-target to Greatsword 3. Because if you don't de-target, the skill will stop you once you reach the target. So if a person is moving away from you, you can miss the skill because of that. So I move back to mid here to try and help my Mesmer. This guard is here, so there's no way I can take this node. The Deadeye also jumps on me, so I try and run away. I see that target in the distance and I try to JI to him, but I keep failing to actually target him. So I eat a lot of damage from the Deadeye. And yeah, the Deadeye is still on me, so I'm forced to RF. And now the other thief is also on me, so I burn everything to escape here. But the thief is still on me, and I know I cannot outrun a thief, so I F3 and then turn around to fight him. I land a good sword 5, and I get my heal off, so now this is a bit more of an even fight. That Greatsword 5 actually lands. I didn't even realize it at the time because usually Greatsword 5 is so unreliable. But I realize it now and I punish him with the pull into F1. And I dodge his cluster bomb with sword 2. And I sword 5, sword 4 into the end of his elite. So he's very low now. I all-in him with my Greatsword combo and I kill him. So yeah, I cleave out the body here, and I want to plus this fight, but currently I'm too low, so I wait until I heal back up from out of combat, and then I go in. And we have 3 here, so we easily force him off node. And yeah, I just leave him for my teammates to kill. And now I just pressure this support guard. He has no signet, so yeah, he had no chance of getting anything done there. And now our soul beast is dead. So yeah, I don't take that fight. My Mesmer actually goes for the res, but yeah, it's too late. The thief shadow steps out of my combo, so I play defensively for a bit. And I'm looking for when he comes out. And I just pressure this support guard because the thief is nowhere to be found. And this lightning rod is very problematic. He tries to interrupt my heal, but he's too late. But I'm still taking a lot of damage. My teammate goes down. I try and res, but the Deadeye is doing too much damage to me. This guy goes for the stomp, so I punish him with my damage combo. But yeah, he's too tanky, so I'm forced to disengage here. Now the thief is on me. I kite up this terrain here, and I hold my heal until I see them bursting, and I block their entire burst. And I keep moving away. I stay on these no port spots, and I land Greatsword 5, so now they both have to back off. And I pour it onto him to counter pressure, and yeah, he doesn't want to fight me anymore. So now I can't fight 1v2 mid. Home is under control, so I move for far. But now the thief jumps back on me, and I can't outrun a thief, so I have to just fight him where I stand. And yeah, unfortunately, because of that, my ranger dies on far, and I'm now forced to disengage. So the Deadeye jumps on me again, but I get back onto this kite spot, and yeah, he leaves. So my Rev is pressuring him. I wait for my cooldowns to come back because I don't want to just pour it in and die. And I see that my Rev lands a good CC, so I pour it in with my combo. I get him super low, and my Rev finishes him off with phased reversal. And we cleave him out before the support guard has a chance to signet. And yeah, we pour onto him and pressure him off node. There's no way he can survive both of our DPS. And we just slowly win this node. And yeah, whenever he steps on node, he just eats massive damage from me. So their lightning rod is coming in. I try and counter pressure, but I get perma CC. I get my heal interrupted, so I'm very pressured here. And I get knocked back off. I try to F3 onto the support guard, but I keep getting interrupted. And yeah, every time I try to F3, I just get CC through it. But I finally get up, and I land sword 5, but he drops down just as I land it, so I miss the sword 4. And yeah, their Deadeye is here. I RF, but he times his CC right into the end of my RF, and I go down here. I had my heal, but I wasn't able to react in time. But it's fine because we have a big enough lead that we can just sit home and we win by points. So yeah, I come off respawn and I immediately rush home. We don't even have to do anything here, I just have to not die in 2 seconds. So yeah, it doesn't matter if my teammate dies either, I just have to sit on this node. And yeah, my teammate does die, but at this point it's too late, we win by points. So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.